republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Moment of prayer. Thank you.
Alderman Wattawa.
Here.
Alderman Calderon.
Here.
Alderman Brickner.
Here.
Alderman Fire.
Here.
Alderman David.
Here.
Alderwoman Holt.
Here.
Here. Telephonic meeting, none.
And the meeting has been properly posted and noticed.
Public hearing, change of zoning, planned unit development, convent to planned unit development community, L. Kiving arrangement, 16 persons or greater, 3195 South Lake Drive.
I will apologize for the typo on the agenda. Sorry.
I thought I did good with that.
Notice is hereby given that the Common Council of the City of St. Francis will hold a public hearing in the council chambers, St. Francis Civic Center, 3400 East Howard Avenue, St. Francis, 2nd, 2023 at 7 p.m. regarding the request for change of zoning from planned unit development convent to planned unit development community living arrangement 16 persons or greater. The legal description involved in the proposed zoning change is as follows: 3195 South Lake Drive. Zoning change would allow for community living How do you to go out and get the Thank you, Chief.
A little something extra in your check on Thursday.
Just to start after.
For the public hearing?
Yep. Sister Sylvia Sheldon.
Sister Sylvia, please. If you want to come up by the microphone here, please. Do I have to do that first before they speak? Okay. Before you start, sister, I have to ask 3 times if there's, no? Okay, I am opening the public hearing right now. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I misheard you, sorry.
I would like, is it on?
There should be a light.
We would like to request that zoning be changed from convent to 16-person unit or greater.
That's fine, yeah. That's perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sister Rochelle?
So a question is, did you know this was to speak, or were you just signing to be, because you don't have to speak if you choose not to.
Correct, yeah.
That was just a sign up to speak.
Have to speak, it's usually for people that want to speak.
You might be a little confused. You're signing that because you think you're in favor. It's just for you to speak. You don't have to. Yeah, if you want to, you can, but I think we know where you stand.
Sister Margaret.
I'm assuming Sister Margaret's not going to speak either
Sister
then?
Margaret doesn't want to speak either.
Okay. Any questions from the council?
Is there anybody else signed up?
Nope, that's it, just those 3. So now I need to ask 3 times. Is there anyone else that would like to speak at this public hearing? Is there anyone else that would like to speak at this public hearing? Is there anyone else that would like to speak at this public hearing? This public hearing is closed.
Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's it. That's it for the public hearing.
No worries. Presentation, none. Citizen comments. Tommy K. Thank you, sir.
Tom Kipchinsky, 3945 South Kingen Avenue. 2 two topics real quick. One, I'd like to thank you for, from what I've seen in the Board of Public Works, for the stop sign on Kingen and Tesh. The second thing is that same intersection, though, I'd still like to see a no parking sign put up on the southeast corner on Tesh, because the crosswalk and the driveway, you can't fit a car according to regulations, traffic regulations. Too many times there's a car there. The police have done an excellent job on enforcement, but they can't always be there. And just having it marked might be helpful for some of the citizens who don't know the rules. That would be a good one. It's hard, it's difficult to make that turn if another car is going westbound and is at the stop sign on Tesh. And also, if you ask any of the plow drivers, it's a big problem for them when there's a car parked there. So I'd just like to thank you and just give you a reminder on that one. Thank you.
Thanks, Tom. Richard Moore?
I'm just here for one of the other.
Okay. Awesome. If you want to come speak, now would be the time.
You don't get to
Are
speak
you here to
later.
observe, or do you want to speak?
I'm available for questions if you have any on that item, so, but other than that, it's the Bethlehem Striders.
I'll wait till- Okay. We'll wait till then. Thank you. Consent agenda. Is there any older person who would like anything removed?
Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as listed.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it. Recommendation of actions from committees, commissions, and boards. Action be taken from the licensing committee meeting held May 2nd, 2023.
Mayor, from licensing this evening, all we had was one denial of a license due to improper application, and the other one was had it withdrawn. So we have nothing from licensing this evening.
Thank you. Action to be taken from the Finance Committee meeting held May 2nd, 2023.
Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve the recommendation of the Finance Committee to approve the Associated Bank agreement for 2023-24.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it.
Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve the recommendation of the Finance Committee to amend the 2023 capital budget to allow the purchase of a tractor and rotary mower in the amount of $75,000.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it.
Mayor, that is all from Finance.
Thank you, Steve. Action to be taken from the bargaining committee meeting held May 2nd, 2023.
No action this evening, Mayor.
Thank you. Resolutions and ordinances. Resolution opposing the demolition or decommissioning of I-794.
I'll move to introduce and adopt.
Second.
Any further discussion?
I'd just like to discuss this a little bit. In reading the resolution, I think that there are some factual statements in the resolution that don't have a citation yet to be proved. And I really think we should spend some time either tightening up the language or, showing that things such as leading to congestion and unsafe driving conditions for motorists or pedestrians on surface streets is, backed by any engineering company or study of that. I didn't see any,
It's just going off of what they've done already. They're doing 3 planning meetings. The last one's going to be May 11th, Thursday. If anyone wants to go, I'm going to go, and I'll bring those notes back, but we're just going off of the other 2 meetings of what they've done.
I've listened to some of the public comment on those meetings, and I haven't seen anything to that effect. I also don't think that there's any study showing that there would be negative impacts due to the demolishing of 794. In fact, I found a UWM study from 2016 in which they said that there are positive economic impacts that can come out of this for surrounding communities. But, you know, again, like I'm not trying to debate whether or not this is accurate. I'm not qualified to say whether or not it is, but I wouldn't want to sign my name to something that doesn't necessarily have a basis in fact right now.
No, you do know it's not legal and binding though either.
I understand that.
So your recommendation would be,
Well, there's already a motion on the table. I'm just,
okay. Right, but we're still up to debate. If the floor is still open, do you want to change? Do you want us to look at something else?
I would like to see something backed by a study. You know, maybe we could table this until such a time as a study emerges that would show the effects that we're talking about, or just if it's not binding at all, is it worth doing? You know,
It's just to let the powers that be that know our citizens are against this. Yeah, it has no teeth. Okay. From the information that they've given us so far.
yeah. I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time hearing you.
I'm sorry, I said we even lost residents at the time, Bombay, and there were people had to move, you know, when the road came through.
Right, but the plan doesn't remove all of 794.
No, but I mean, it would affect, well, I believe it would affect us negatively if it was done.
No, actually, they got three different plans, and one is to remove almost everything. They got three different
Yeah,
plans
and
to
one is,
vote on.
yeah, and one is to replace with surface streets,
Correct.
you know,
And the
and,
surface streets will be skinnier, sidewalks will be longer, they're gonna have bike paths, so you're gonna have cars congested on a very small street.
I think that there are, that a feasibility study that has been done at this point, and like, again, all I know is what I've read kind of from, you know, citizen groups, the state, and, you know, I don't think that there's necessarily a plan in place that would only remove the, you know, the freeway and not seek to find alternate congestion easing, you know, and be able to put something in place there. We have a, generally speaking, open I-94 just west of here that would also provide alternate routes to points north and west. You know, so I think that it does, I think the other side of the debate is we've generally seen economic activity flow south from downtown, and opening up that amount of land for what could be somewhere between $1 and $1.5 billion worth of future development will probably have good economic effects, similar to how the economic effects of the Third Ward flowing into Walker's Point, flowing into Bayview, flowing into St. Francis has helped us as well over time. So I think that there's more than just, you know, what might happen in terms of moving traffic, that I think should be studied by an authority that can actually, you know, make the claims. You know, and I'm happy to be swayed one way or another. I haven't seen evidence from one side or the other at this point.
I'm old enough to remember having a dead-end bridge
Suicide Bridge.
with no access or limited access for the people from the south side to get to the north side and headed towards Green Bay and all that kind of stuff. And 794, when they opened that up, that was a main artery for the south side of Milwaukee and Kenosha and whatever else, whoever is using that 794.
And, yeah,
I cannot fathom a time when you're going to tear it down just to open up city streets. Because by the summertime, you are going to have congestion, unbelievable congestion, because of people wanting to go down to the lake and access all this property that you're talking about that's going
and
to open
again,
up.
I haven't seen any proposals that would remove the home
I just
bridge
think
and our
I
access
just
to
think
downtown.
that even the idea is ridiculous.
Well, and again, I'm not debating that idea. I'm saying, and again, I haven't seen any ideas that remove the Hone Bridge or 794 as it relates to St. Francis, just the east-west corridor, and then some access into the Third Ward. So again, I think it requires more study before I'm prepared to put my name on the claims that we're putting here.
So I got a motion and a first.
Sure, can you just call for a vote? I can understand Matt's opinion.
Absolutely.
If we were-
There's
I
going to
was
be a
just-
lot more info coming out.
And truthfully, the city didn't want 794 to even come through originally. We didn't want it. We were fighting it, so that's how far back I go, but.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Discussion items with possible action. Charter Communication Public Access Cable Channel. Mark Moran?
We have a public access channel through Charter Communications. The equipment is over at the library. The equipment is failing, and it's sending error signals to Charter Spectrum. That has not been something that we have changed on a regular basis. In other words, the message that's been on that information channel has remained the same for a number of years. And so, in talking with Froze Gauss, our IT director, he contacted Charter Communications, indicated that his recommendation was to disband the channel but keep the access to it. In the discussions with Charter Communications, they indicated they could discontinue the channel. They can't keep that channel open for us. We would have to solicit a new channel if the city so chose to do a public communications channel in the future. But, so we have to have council approval in order to eliminate access to the Charter Communications channel. I believe it's channel 25. And again, it did not, I think the thought was at one point in time that we were going to put all our meetings on a public communications channel and let people be able to access cable to be able to see that. But what we do now is we put it on our website, and if it isn't on our website, it's on YouTube. So people are accessing the information differently than they have when the public communications channel was available. So the recommendation from staff is to discontinue the use of the public communications channel 25 on Charter Communications.
Also move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it. Application for special event through the city, Badgerland Striders, Inc., 10/01/2023. If you'd like to come and speak, sir. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Richard Moore with the Badgerland Striders, and I'm working with them on the Milwaukee Lakefront Marathon. It had been going on for about 40 years, and traditionally it had gone from Grafton to downtown Milwaukee. Due to the construction on I-43, we were told that we had to move the route last year. Last year, we ran into some difficulties, especially with the city of Milwaukee. We didn't know the right questions to ask of the right people, and we were unable to do our event, and we're asking the city of St. Francis for permission to run a section of our route through the city of St. Francis, which would be on Lake Drive, from the Milwaukee border to the Cudahy border. The race would start at 10 o'clock, excuse me, at 7 o'clock in the morning. They would be at about, the course is a little different than what we had proposed last year in some of the other sections of it, where the runners would have done about 13 miles when they enter the city of St. Francis. And then they would go down, continue on through Cudahy, and then come back north on the Oak Leaf Trail. There will be a time limit on the runners, so that anybody who doesn't get to the St. Francis city limits by 10:15 is going to be asked to leave the course. We are asking for 1 lane of Lake Drive. The runners will be spread out, thinned out far enough that we won't need to take both lanes of it like we thought we were going to last year when it was only at the 5-mile mark. So they'll be stretched out enough that we can do it to just have 1 lane. So we're asking for the use of the easternmost lane of Lake Drive from the Milwaukee city limit to the Cudahy city limit.
And Chief Hunter's not here, police chief, and he was okay with this last year.
And they signed off on it.
Yeah.
Right, they both have. I'll move to approve, because both have signed off and the appropriate letters attached about picking up the cost and the liability insurance.
Yeah.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Good luck.
Moving on, application for special event through the city, UPAF 06/04/2023.
The application was not in your packet. I didn't realize the chief was out last week and he's not here today. Police chief, I'm sorry. They've done this annually, always reimburse, and the fire chief did sign it. It's the same route as last year.
No, it wouldn't be a steak lunch, steak dinner, more money.
I'll move to
And do they have the attached liability insurance as well?
Generally, send it all in. I do not see it on the application. I will verify with them, but we've not had any problems with them in the past.
Can we motion to approve pending the insurance permit and Chief Hunter's just final on it?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it. Agreement between the City of St. Francis and MSA Professional Services, Inc. Mark, Paul?
This is coming back from a recommendation from the Committee of the Whole concerning the recommendation to the Common Council to enter into an agreement with MSA Professional Services for engineering services. This is some slight modification of the agreement that went out with the RFP, essentially dealing with dates. So it would start today and run through the end of 2024. And it incorporates both our RFP and MSA's proposal and price sheet. Staff is recommending approval.
Especially since he remembered it was City Clerk Week.
I thought that was inconsequential,
right.
and, you know, us.
Also move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thanks, Paul.
Thank you.
Appointments to committees, commissions, and boards, none. Correspondence with possible action, none. Unfinished business, none. Other business, none. Department heads. None. Chief, you first?
There's one here. I have a couple things, and I'll try to make them as brief as it could be. Big announcement. So on May 2nd of last year, we hired 3 probationary firefighters, Justin Nizowitz, Shawn Miller, and Aurelio Vasquez Jr. In addition to them, we had intern Peter Hahn join them for the Joint Fire Training Academy. So in in protective services, like a lot of fields, we have a 1-year probationary period. I'm happy to say that all 3 of our probationary firefighters have completed their probationary year. All 3 of them completed their probationary year with National Registry and Wisconsin State Paramedic licenses in their wallets. Sean Miller was the last to pass. He had his final attempt at it and obtained his state of Wisconsin paramedic license this last week, making it staffing of 2 paramedics for every shift under the first 60 days of our paramedic program. So we have a couple of flex firefighter positions that also are going for to obtain their paramedic licensure so that we have some flexibility in our staffing. But like I said, under the first 60 days, we have 2 paramedics per shift. All of them passed their probationary period. We ordered our ambulance, so we have another ambulance coming. Granted, we won't see it until August of 2025. We did beat the deadline and the cost increase associated with who knows what's happening in the global market. We did come in. We beat the cost deadline. Going back to the probationary firefighters, Peter Hahn, who we got a private grant to sponsor to go through paramedic school, he gave up 6 weeks of his life to go to Joint Fire Training Academy voluntarily as an intern with us. He then gave up the next 8 months of his life to go full-time for paramedic school. He will be completing it on May 10th, and I'm really excited to bring his name to the Police and Fire Commission tomorrow for confirmation for an appointment coming up soon. We had a great time, even though I couldn't be there for this one because it was rescheduled, but we had fire crews down at the spaghetti dinner, hustling dinners and in the kitchen. And for those who didn't know, for that whole week, the Honor Guard clinics and schools once again took over the Civic Center. Really good feedback. Every year we host it, it goes smoother and smoother. 127 plus people that we hosted in this very room, this building, this city, and this county. 23 different states were represented, 2 territories in Canada, 31 different law enforcement, fire, EMS, and corrections entities, and over 108 flights in and out of Mitchell International Airport coming to the city of St. Francis. So I don't have any other department heads on this table to thank, but I want to thank every one of you, Mark and the mayor, every single one for the support of this. It's the largest Honor Guard clinic, the largest Honor Guard training program in the entire North American continent, and we host it right here.
Can you please repeat that?
It is.
That's
it's
very
the-
important.
The largest
That's
Honor
awesome.
Guard training program in the entire North American area. So, other than that, it's all good news. The crews are out there busy. You're going to see them now that the weather's supposed to be turning nice. You're going to see them on the aprons hose testing. By the fire department, we are open 24/7. If you see them out there doing something, the garage doors are open, you're curious what's going on, please stop in, ask questions. It's a firehouse. We have coffee on all the time. Come on in and we'll explain to you what we have going on. And with that, I pass.
Thank you, Chief. Ann?
I'm gonna take over a little bit for Chief Hunter. If you noticed up here, I have a very heavy statue. This is the small cast of our canine hero statue of Bane. Seriously, it's heavy. So this is what it'll look like. She did do some fine tuning to this before they did the large one, but it is being, I think it's in Texas right now, being poured. And the goal dropped it off so you could all see it. Drop it on your foot.
It is heavy.
It
It is heavy.
The detailing on it is just amazing. And that's it. Happy Wisconsin, Municipal Clerks Week.
That it is. Well earned. Thank you. Bless you. Paul?
I pass, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Mark?
Thank you, Mayor. KK, as you're all aware, is under construction. It's a resurfacing project, so it's a mill and overlay project. It is on schedule. We expect to have the westbound lane paved by the end of this month, and then they'll be converting all the traffic over to the new paved lane, and then they'll be working on the opposite lane. They are gonna have to do some work around the intersection, which may take some additional time because they have to get some permissions from the railroad and use the use of the railroad property, so that may be the only crux to this whole project. Otherwise, it's moving along as expected. As you're aware, we've had a colder spring than normal, and so we haven't had any opportunities to cut grass, but I suspect that within the next 3 weeks here, we will be regularly mowing grass. There has been a little bit of mowing around the Civic Center, but other than that, we haven't had to do major mowing. So the guys are catching up on some of their spring things. They were actually at training today. They were up in Sheboygan doing some safety training. We can expect to see them out and about again. But that's all I have. Thanks.
Thanks. Thanks, Mark. Matt?
I don't have anything tonight.
Thank you, Matt. Steve?
I'll pass this evening, sir.
Thank you, Steve. Don?
I will follow the trend.
Thank you, Don. Debbie?
I'll pass, Mayor.
Thank you, Debbie. Sarah?
I'll pass as well, Mayor.
Sean?
Going to be very brief, Chief. That's excellent. Thank you for sharing that information again, and you always make our city proud. Thanks. And on that, I'll pass.
And with that, I'm going to piggyback on what Sean just said. Great job, Chief. Awesome. You make my job in this city so easy. Thank you.
It takes a village, Chief.
Cool.
Touche.
And with that,
That's good, because then you don't need the idiot.
I'm not going to touch that. I'm not going to touch that.
He's available 3 times nightly, folks.
And piggybacking on that, I have nothing. Can I get a motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it. We are adjourned.